Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kiera, and welcome to the Dental Team podcast. I am so happy you're here. I'm so happy that you're spending your time with us, that you are truly here committed to making your practice, your patient experience, your team experience that much better, which ultimately impacts your life. It ultimately impacts your profitability, and it ultimately impacts the success that you have in this world. This is one of the greatest opportunities for you to truly live your dream life, to truly have everything and more. And that's what I love, and I'm so passionate about. And so today, I just wanted to talk about some telltale signs of burnout and what to do if you are a practice experiencing burnout, or what to look for to avoid burnout. I know burnout is one of these hot topics, and I was talking to an office today and I thought, you know what? I need to podcast about that because offices feel alone. Offices feel like I'm the only one who's experiencing this. I'm the only one who feels this way. Like, gosh, I don't even know what to do. And so I feel like it's just a really important topic that I'm super passionate about, that I am excited. So today, it's going to be a quick tactical one of what to do for burnout. What does that look like? What are some symptoms? And then what to do to help with that? Because I think all of us can be in that space at one time or another. And so just noticing, being able to have it. I've done some other ones. There's been some other doctors that have been guests on here. But I realized that today when I was talking to this office, I realized, oh my gosh, this doctor is just struggling from burnout. And I don't think that they even realize that. And so just giving you some quick, these are some things to be aware of. But then in addition to that, I always love but what's the solution? How do I get out of this? Because burnout, I think, is a little bit of a buzzword. What are truly the steps out? So I'm really excited that you're here. If you're a part of the Dental Team family, I'm so glad you're a part of it. I love our clients. We are a consulting company that works across the nation, really trying to bring dentists and team members together, because I think it's so tricky when doctors are consulted, but the team's not, or the team's consulted and the doctor's not, but getting both parties on the same page to where we can really truly thrive. We can gain a lot of traction and momentum within our practice, having the best team and patient experience, because I honestly believe that building a dental practice should be easy. Building a practical and profitable practice should be easy. So with Dental Team, that's what we do. That's what we're here for. We're the masters at team and practice success. And really, we've been there. We've done it. We've done it successfully many times. And I hope to be able to help you in your practice. So today, talking about burnout, this doctor called in and they were saying, Kiera, I need some help. And I was like, all right, great. Let's talk. And this doctor, what I started noticing was there was a lot of apathy. As they were talking, they just said, I know I should be doing this and I just don't. I know that these are some issues that I'm struggling with, and I've just said it a lot of times and I've just kind of given up asking for it. When I have patients there, I know I should be diagnosing this, and not that I'm not diagnosing, I'm diagnosing, but maybe I'm just not presenting all of it, because I honestly don't want to tell the patient, you've got 7 crowns. So you know what, this one, I could watch it. I started hearing, and I know some of you are like, oh my gosh, I don't want you to judge this office, because guess what? I hear this from a lot of practices, and I'm not sitting here judging. I never sit here and think, wow, that doctor's crazy. I think, wow, that doctor is burnt out and we need to figure out why. Doctors at the end of their careers, they get this way too. Doctors, when they are at different areas in their life, they get these things. And I really hope that today we come to this with love and empathy and no judgment of yourself and no judgment of these offices. I'm mixing and mashing a bunch of offices together so that way you can't figure out who I'm talking about, because I hear this from so many practices. But it's apathy. It's saying gosh, I just feel like I can't find the energy. I'm tired of just asking for this to be done. It's the insurmountable to-do list. I think as I just took that breath, I think that's how they feel. It's I have this never ending to-do list. I don't quite know what I need to do. I'm tired. I've got things going. I know I could be doing better, but do I really want to? And it's just kind of this swirl. I also notice when officers are really at a good burnout space, they swirl. They swirl a lot, because honestly, I think that their mind is swirling and they're just I know I need to do this and I know I need to do that, but I'm so tired. Or gosh, I just no matter how many times I try to take a step forward, I've got 10 steps back. And what I look for when I'm seeing a practice, the first thing I'm going to ask when I have a doctor who's in this space, those are some telltale signs. And then after that, we just get to a worse space where we actually stop caring. Where you don't want to come work, dentistry is not fun for you. And so what I get excited about is when I get and catch a doctor before they get to that, where they've lost the interest, they're not excited about it. They still have a little bit of that spark, and sparkle. And they're like, hey, I know I need some help. And they reach out. That's like the prime spot. I love to catch them even before that. But hey, if we can catch you at that spot, fantastic. Because otherwise, like I said, you go into complete and total like shutdown. And it's almost like the world loses its color. Food loses its taste. Things that you used to love, they just don't inspire you anymore. You start to detach. You start to, it's hard to find the energy. It's hard to find the motivation. It's hard to get excited for things. You really are just sitting in this space of, I feel like it's almost complete overwhelmment. So your system is just naturally shutting down. And it's like, all right, we're just going to like we're going to put a blanket on that. Like it's a fire. We need to put the fire blanket on it and just like put everything to baseline 0. So we're not having highs. We're not having lows. We're just going to settle. And I think when I look at practices like this, that's the part I don't like, because you got into dentistry because you love it. And so when I find doctors like this, one of the first questions I'm going to ask is, do you have a great office manager or right hand? And a lot of times I will hear, and office managers, this is nothing on you. Office managers, I hope if you're listening to this, you are picking up. That's why I do this podcast. So doctors and office managers can have conversations. You can talk about this. You can say, oh my gosh, like, hey, these things are things we need to talk about. And so with that, what I found is usually the office manager has been there for maybe a while, but the office manager is not truly managing. And so what I like to highlight on this to these offices is like this doctor, they'll tell me like, Kiera, I know I need to hire this person, but I can't get the ads. And I'm like, well, that's what your office manager should be doing. They should be placing the ads. They should be interviewing. You can help with the compensation, but they should be bringing that to you. Like literally owner doctors, that's what you should be relying on your office manager for. And office managers, this is what you are supposed to be doing as an office manager. And I know there's no rule book for office managers. So a lot of times it's just, you didn't even know that this was part of your job description. So things like payroll, things like website, things like marketing, things like tracking our cases, things like figuring out new softwares in the practice, things like listening to podcasts. So kudos to all those office managers out there, doctors, if your office manager listens to the podcast, or if they haven't started, have them join us. It would be great. We try to talk about these things so you don't have to have the awkward conversation. We have it for you. But so many things. So when I look at doctors' lists, I'm like, well, high five. All of these things that you're doing for the most part actually should be delegated out to your office manager or your leadership team. Now, again, depending upon the size of your practice, but the reality is, doctors, you're an owner. And so your job is to do dentistry and be an owner and a CEO of your practice. That's what your job is. It's not to be the manager. And so oftentimes I find that the burnout for a lot of doctors comes because they don't have a strong office manager next to them. And even if, because a lot of people are like, Kiera, I can't find an office manager, or I don't want the office manager title in my practice. And I'm like, that's fine. So we can hire a personal assistant. We can hire an office manager. We can hire a front office lead. We can build you a leadership team. The point is, you need more people to help run this ship, because you are the one who's producing dentistry. And without you doing dentistry, the rest of these things aren't getting done. And so that's where you just feel this insurmountable. It's like the laundry got piled on top of you and there's no way to get this laundry off of you. And so what you do instead is you just fall asleep under the pile. That's called burnout. And so when I look at this, I'm like, fantastic. Let's look at your team. And I'm not here. And in our consulting, it is very clear that we do not terminate team members. We give them an opportunity to rise up, because like I said, a lot of office managers don't even know this is what they should be doing. They don't even know how to do it. They don't know how to have the conversations. They don't know how to run the meetings. Doctors get so tired of trying to implement a system and then it falls off. They get tired of trying to like be a like broken record and just keep telling this team member, hey, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. Doctors, it's not your world. It's not what you're there to do. That's not your job. Even as an owner, that's not your job. That's your manager and your leadership's opportunity. That's what they should be rising up to do. And so what I found in that I really love is when we meet these offices, that's where I love coming in and being able to help out, because what we do is we now get to help coach your office manager for you. We get to help say, great, tell me everything on your to-do list. This is who in your practice should be doing this project. This is who should be able to take care of these. This is how we start tracking your numbers. This is how we help you look at your numbers to make decisions on who you can hire, on what your overhead and profitability should be. Because a lot of times the burnout also comes from not knowing your numbers, not knowing what systems to put into place, not knowing what your office manager should even be doing, not knowing what you can hold your team accountable for. And I think the hardest thing as I watch so many offices and so many doctors is you feel like you come out of dental school expected to know how to run a business as well. And we hear it all the time. We don't know how to run a business. We know we don't know how to, but no matter what, you're doctors. And so you think like, gosh, like I've got this doctorate degree. I'm supposed to know how to do this. And so I feel like instead of like stop thinking like that's what you are supposed to do. Let's come into reality of what you really do. So for doctors, what I really need from you is I need your vision. I need to know what life you want to be living. And I need to know, we're going to need to know your numbers as well. So we're going to need to get that with your CPA. You don't even have to give it to us. We can work with your CPA. But those are the main things. And then I need you to be a great producer. I need you to be great at diagnosing, and I need you to be great at taking feedback on your case acceptance. I'm not here to be a dentist at all. You get to diagnose, but I am here to teach you how to get more patients to say yes. So you being open to that, fantastic. And then be the eyes and ears. If things aren't going well, tell me. Tell us as your consultant how we can help you. But really, doctors, that's your main thing. Set the vision, get us the numbers. Yes, you need to be good at spending your money. So like, let's make sure we don't go wild on that. And then be a great producer and like, let us know if things aren't going well. You also have to be willing to communicate those things and letting us know what your dream life is. Because once we have that information, amazing. Now we get to take it to the team, and now we get to figure out KPIs, tracking, teams, systems that need to go into place to get these things into play. And so what I like point out is, doctors, you're kind of like Walt Disney. Your job is to set the vision of what you want your practice to be. And then your team's like Roy Disney, and they're going to go put this into place. We just need that information from you. So I hope that that gives some reprieve to these poor offices that just feel like they're under this laundry pile of, gosh, we have so many, like, I don't even know where the socks go anymore. I know I put them away for years, but like, you're just so inundated with so many things, trying to be a great dentist, trying to be on all the time. Doctors, your job is hard. Like, you're doing dentistry, you're working in a finite space, you're trying to win patients over, you're diagnosing, you've got to make sure your team loves you, you work in very small proximity. And then on top of it, you've also got to do all these other things that realistically your manager should be doing for you and your team should be doing for you. And so being able to have those conversations of like, amazing, this is what my office manager should be doing and this is how they can do it. But I think doctors get so nervous because like, well, I don't know how to do this. How am I supposed to tell them to do it? That's why I love being a consultant and a coach to office managers. We get to coach that office manager on how they can have these conversations, on how to track these numbers, on how to look at the business. Because guess what? Office managers have also never been taught this. They like, even if they come from other practices, it's like trickled down through the grapevine. And so working with so many practices, we're able to see this is what elite managers do. This is what basic managers do. This is what leadership teams do. This is what a very junior leadership team can do. And then we grow them into more advanced. So wherever your practice is, no matter where you are, if you're already there, helping them take on more tasks and duties and utilizing the numbers and really looking at the business as a business to make decisions that help you and like really truly help you grow. But I really just hope that we've inspired doctors of, these are some of the signs I see consistently. This is what you need next to you. And if you don't have that person, there's a great doctor that we work with that didn't have their right hand when we started with them. And we worked with them, and it was a good like 6 to 8 months before we were able to find this right hand. And it was interesting. I saw this doctor and they told me, they said, Kiera, I'm so grateful for your guys' guidance because I didn't even realize what could be possible. I didn't know what it would feel like to have an office manager who actually was a true manager, not just by title alone. Like, I didn't even know how to tell them what to do. And you were able to be their coach just as much as you were able to be my coach. You're able to help me see the numbers to make decisions, but you're able to help the manager have the uncomfortable conversations with team members. You're able to help them know how to put meetings into place, of how to track KPIs and track numbers and get the whole team on board, of how to present treatment plans and schedules and block schedules and all those things you hear about. Like, you guys were actually able to teach my manager, and you were able to be that resource for my manager when they didn't even know. And so really being able to partner in, I think it's just important for you to realize this is real life for so many practices. This is what hundreds of offices are dealing with. And my heart goes out to you because you don't have to live like this. There are other options. You can actually go home at the end of the day and be with your family. You can actually have a team that looks at the numbers and makes decisions that you don't have to make all the decisions. You can have a team where your office manager holds them all accountable and you don't have to. You can have a team where they literally rise up. And the great news is teams want to rise up. Teams want to make you so proud. Teams want you to go home. I was talking to someone the other day about my personal life, and they were like, Kiera, this is the best news ever. Like, this is what you've been working for. And now you get to go enjoy this life that you worked so hard for. And hearing that, I just thought, that's what your teams want for you, doctors. They want you to be living this dream life. They want you to be home with your babies. They want you to be flourishing. They love you so much. And so realizing that there's another option if you want it. And so I just wanted to pop on of, the solution is helping your team take on the responsibilities of what what they can do and what they should be doing, giving them the tools and the resources, hoping to highlight a lot of the tasks that doctors, this is what you should be doing, and this is what your manager and your leadership team should be doing. All those other things, supplies, ordering, budgets, all of that, those go to team members. Doctors, yes, we teach you how to look at the numbers so you can make sure that your business is profitable and you can make decisions from there. But we do that in tandem with your office manager if you want. I understand some people don't want to share all their numbers, but I will tell you, having someone to shoulder this weight with you really is just going to be able to give you so much freedom and so much happiness. And so I felt like, man, I hear this all the time, and maybe you don't realize that this is normal. Maybe you don't realize that these are signs that you're headed towards burnout. Maybe you don't realize that this is the solution out of, maybe you're sitting there and you're listening to this podcast at 7:00 at night because you were hanging out at the practice because you had to check the charts and you had to check this and you had to check that. And like, you got to make sure it's all set up. The answer is no, you don't. There's other team members and other people who should be, that want to rally with you. They may not just even know what it needs to be. And you don't know. So guess what? We've got the blind leading the blind. Neither of you know what you're supposed to do. Neither of you know where you're supposed to go. So it feels really hard to get out from underneath that tunnel. But I'm going to come in and shine a lantern for you. I'm going to come show you that there is light at the end of that tunnel, that there are ways out, that these things are possible for your practice, and really, truly taking it on, giving yourself that gift, because running a practice doesn't have to be hard. Going through burnout doesn't have to be your reality. Being able to go home on time, be with your kiddos, be with your family, be with your friends, go and live your life, work as many days or as little days as you want. Those are reality. And so knowing what that is, then we just work backwards. We get your team on board. Things that you love to do, fantastic. You can keep doing them. Things you don't like to do, fantastic. We take those off and we give that to someone else. And we train your team of who should be doing what and how they can be doing it, and really empowering your team to take this on as well. So if that resonates with you, take it on. This is the time. Live that life. It doesn't have to be hard. And if we can help you in that, please reach out. I'd love to help you with your practice. I'd love to take a look at it. I'd love to do whatever we can to make sure that you are living your best life, because your life is important. You are worth it. You don't need to be sitting there and stressed out, apathetic, loss of life. The world doesn't seem to have as much color as it did. You don't need to live there. Burnout's real. These problems are real. And the solutions are also real. And so I'd love to chat with you. If that resonates with you, reach out, hello@thedentalateam.com, DM us on Instagram, Dental A Team. We're happy to help you. And even if you're like, gosh, I just don't know, maybe I'm different, reach out, because I promise you, you're not so different. And there's a solution for you. And if I can give you the solution right away, easy, I will. And if we can work with your practice and your team, we're happy to do that too. But really, I want you to commit to yourself that you deserve to live the best life, and that you are going to live your best life, and that you aren't going to deal with burnout any longer. And you're not going to even get yourself to that line if you're not there yet, but you're truly going to empower your team to be the incredible team that they are meant to be, and that you are worthy of that, and that your team is worthy of that. Guys, I just love you, and I wish I could give you a giant hug and a high five and tell you you're doing an incredible job, because you are. Reach out, hello@thedentalateam.com. Give yourself a huge hug. Give yourself a high five. You're doing better than you think you are. And as always, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time on the Dental A Team podcast.